If you clicked on this video, please wait for at least a minute to explain myself what I'm doing here with this. You see, I don't like Power Rangers. I'm completely an outsider, and I think it's living of mediocrity. But I think these shows who are living from the mediocrity, like Scooby-Doo and so on, should be talked about more in detail, examined to see how they survive, how they keep their momentum, because we can genuinely learn from that. Now, is the show bad? No, but what is the show even? I mean, we have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the first, it has like 3 seasons, and then we get Alien Rangers, Rangers of Architaria, or whatever, and then we have Zeo, and then we have Turbo, and then are they? I genuinely thought they are restarting every single time. You know, like Transformers. You don't tell me that the animated series had any type of connection between them. They just didn't. They were always just new thing which you could make up a headcanon for them, but otherwise it was just independent shows. And it's other, but here I'm not sure what these eras mean. Sometimes they look like a season title, but again, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers got 3 seasons, and Alien Rangers, the direct follow-up, is like a season B, even considering the episode numbers. Something on the conceptual level, I have no idea. Also, I I would watch a video about what source material they used, because they say they used Super Sentai or whatever. Sure, that was true for the first 30 episode, but then they had to roll new footage just for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1 and most of Season 2, and it genuinely feels, because of the structure, the story pacing, and the Monster of the Week thing. But on the other hand, even though when you consider, when they throw in the Green Ranger, they focus too much on the Green Ranger. It always has to be about the Green Ranger. He always gets either kidnapped or saves the day, or something with him. It feels a bit too much, but as I skimmed through the episodes, I will tell you in a minute why and how this affected my experience. I noticed there are some mini stories going on, so that made up the pacing of the show for me, and that was good. I I would use a better word, but I can't deny it. It's actually categorized as good. It's not anything phenomenal, and nothing is very interesting happens in the show, but it had a pacing when you think about it. So I skimmed through it because the fight scenes are genuinely good. It's high intensity. Most of the times it has some hard rock or metal sound music under it, and the pyrotechnic is all over. It's great. They genuinely used sparkles, so they spared on the CGI. It's great. On the other hand, being a cheapskate really works against the show, and you can genuinely feel it. I mean, look at the costumes of the Rangers. It's that the footage with the American actors are Nickelodeon level, and that's not good. On the other hand, the show seems to have other inspirations and stuff, and it more feels like, especially with the villain scenes, the throne room scenes, not the fightings, like Disney Channel, and that's more higher value ratio. So there is that. So if you like the fighting, sure, there is things to like about it. I just felt I, who is not want to know the story, is not necessary to watch the whole footage. So I mostly skipped through the battles and especially the kung fu parts. It's nonsense. But I stopped where it seems something other is happening. You know, 5 of the Rangers are fighting, and 1 or 2 goes to do the real mission and that kind of stuff. And that's genuinely good. Or they are spending at least a minute at Zordon. I hate how cheap is Zordon. Not even the mouse is moving. They literally just recorded the guy this way, and okay, we have footage for all the seasons. That's cheap. And there was this that they literally paid peanuts for the actors and crew, so they've managed to fire 3 of them in the middle of whenever season 2. And that really changed the show because, you know, I say the protagonists, the Rangers, the human, the not superhero versions, the superhero versions are just color variants. No one cares. They don't have special, unique powers to each of them. So forget it. The everyday life versions, they don't have characters. Let's be honest. They don't. But they had some archetypes. They had, most of them had something to do. Like the Red Ranger was the character martial art guy, and the black dude was also martial artist, and but on the side gig he did hip hop dancing, so that was fine. There was the Pink Ranger who they had a board for her, and she did gymnastics on it. And it seems the actress genuinely did that, so she wasn't very good on the board, but when she flip-flopped out of it and that kind of, that was good, better. And she always remained on the board, so that's a plus. Billy, oh Billy. By the way, uh, only 2 of the original cast and like otherwise had somewhat of a career. The black guy, because how many black dudes Hollywood needs? So yeah, But after the first 10-ish episode, the Pink Ranger Kimberly was the actor. I said, she is trying. She is too good for this show. But she remained for like the was 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin, so that was that. And she actually had somewhat of a career, mostly, TV shows, but that's a good solid job. No need to hit above your weight class. She, and I was not surprised because I spotted that she is trying. She definitely picked up mannerism, reacted to things, not just stood around, do the bare minimum for the peanuts they got paid. So Billy is the tech guy. I hate Billy. And after a while, I don't know, in season 2, definitely 3, and absolutely in Alien Rangers, he got rid of his glasses. That was a bummer. Why? At least mention that he switched to contact lenses. But this is one of the things, you see, the show just don't care. Throw it in the trash bin. Was it that complicated to wear the glasses without the glass? I don't know. And there was Strini, who was Asian. I'm sorry, but she was definitely just there to be the Asian girl. She had nothing. So there was the red, black, pink, blue, and yellow, and they shoved in the green one, who was, they say that he is the dragon dinosaur ranger, but you don't tell me. These all were for stereotypes. There was the red because the leader, the black who was black, the pink who was a girl, the blue who was nerd, and the yellow who was Asian. So the green, and look at that coin he has, he's the weed guy. But he was not the weed guy. It's just very obvious. It's green. Green is green. He was another martial arts guy, so black guy just faded to the background, but he wasn't very good either way, so, but it got annoying that. But at least they pulled out some martial arts, competition, jealousy thing from these two. So that was fine. So we actually had 6, and Green Ranger became the White Ranger, because why not? And they introduced a new set of spare mechas, robots, like Voltron, assembly robots. I'm not sure how often they used them. I guess they faded out after a brief while. But then, there was the purge occurred, and the red, and the black, and the yellow got changed actors. Yellow became Asian and even less interesting, and all of these went to the trash bin. No one cared anymore. No one got anything personal story interesting anymore. They just existed. Now, even Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, got to the background, the most talented actress, and they pushed it into the background. It's just a stupid decision. and it all went to either Billy doing Technobubble or Tommy, the green white ranger. At this point, he was white. It was the evil ones, the Rita Repulsa had a ranger coin from thousands of years ago, so that's how the Green Ranger appears in the show. She's always brainwashing, but she really devolves to, she looks at Earth, sees the Rangers are doing something. By the way, originally there was this attempt to make they have a hidden identity, but for the show threw it in the trash bin, and the evils just knew who they are. It sometimes came back in the show as in the TV there was news about who they can be, but that faded out. And in season 3 and the Alien Rangers, it shifted to there was two bullies in the school, and they investigated instead the Rangers' identity. Of course, they never got anything there, and they were pretty much just a ripoff of Police Academy, but in a much lower budget and quality. But anyway, so there, the show not just had Rita, but in the middle of season 1 they introduced Scorpina, who did nothing. I think she even faded out of the show. Then they introduced Lord Zed, who was way too serious for this show. I liked Rita way more, and that's why after 40 episodes in season 2, Rita returned, and that was better that way. But then at that point, the show really just devolved to Monster of the Week, or I mean, Scheme of the Week. Rita had the Monster of the Week formula. Lord Zed always has some scheme, like Inspector Gadget's glove guy, or Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that was not as interesting. But they were fine as a couple. But the show really got back its momentum when Master Wild showed up. Also, there was this Rito Revolto, who is a skeleton, a G.I. Joe skeleton. I'm not sure what's the design decision behind this, but he's a fun character. He's good. He doesn't carry the show, but he was a good addition. But Master Wild was a genuine cartoon villain. That was good, and so Zed and Rita could do subplots, submachinations. They have their own actions. That really made it something to watch. Because I watched more of the episodes. What I missed is season 1 did this. Oh, remember when we fought on this or that planet and we had this or that gadgets? And it faded out. That gave it at least forgettable, but some lore. So the show tends to devolve this, that Rangers do something in real life. You have a scene in the evil lair, and then they send down some generic things while cooking a monster. They send down the monster. Zordon teleports them into the HQ to tell them there is a monster, then teleports them out, then teleports them back to tell them this is a you need to power up or something, and sends them back to keep on fighting, and then the monster of the week blows up. Seriously. And this is why the episodes don't really work. They feel a bit dragged out. And because I guess the showrunners felt the show is losing its momentum, they invented a bunch of time travel. They really time travel a lot in this one. There was this other show, I know it like 5 minutes ago, but it's really dabbling into some time traveling shenanigans. It's, no one cares. We all know that nothing will happen. And look, in the grand scheme of things, do we care about their everyday life? No. We care about the villain stuff, so you introducing random characters doing random real life shit. Nobody cares. So, can we not do this time traveling nonsense? It's just bad. Then came Alien Ranger, and that's why I realized this is not new team. It's the same shit in a big continuity, probably. Although it turns out there are some aliens who were made rangers on a water where they breathe water and live in water, but why not put them on Earth? It's just TV, movie logic. It's okay, fine. Of course, the show devolves into, oh, they need water fast so they can fight right now, help you out. It's very tiring. It's just 10 episodes, and at least third of the runtime I watched through, which is genuinely good. Some episodes I watched for like 10 seconds from the runtime, and I did not miss a single thing. So this had kind of coherent story. The alien design was bad, and I would have been genuinely liked. All of them had purple lipstick, not just the leader girl. The moving was bad, and that it was a worse thing. They of course had their own evil overlord who came out this part. He never had water problems, and just the original Rangers were bad because if you start with the yellow being the Asian, the black being the black, you never come out of that good. You never. And when the Black Ranger was changed, he got, I guess, Hawaiian. And I don't get why the Native American looking is the green and the White Ranger. They even got a third set of robots, the Ninja Zords. Again, that costume and the robots faded out of the show. They got back the original and just go with that. The aliens were named Dolphin, Cocus, Oreo, whatever, Tardos. Tardos is the best. Why that name? But Cocus, Dolphin, and Oreo, it's just Oreo. And there was Sinistro or Sextro, or they have this ball gargling over the token. The official Power Rangers channel don't have their own subtitles. It's just Google and auto translate, auto subtitling. Oh, for fuck's sake! And by the way, we had some interesting rangers. One of the rangers. Oh, and at the end of Alien Rangers, the yellow turns into black. Who is a time traveler who was a kid, but then became adult because magic shenanigans. So this Yellow Ranger is actually a kid in a adult body, and I don't want to deal with that seriously. It's just aged badly, the idea. By the way, that's not the only questionable ranger character, because one of the rangers, and I'm not kidding, is a stray cat. The cat was transformed by the evils. Rita was into a human and got brainwashed to be evil, yada yada yada, and the whole friendship thing broke the spell, yada yada yada. But she's a cat! And when they can go back in time, she doesn't evolve into a cat. She devolves into a child. How? Seriously, how does this work? It's just nonsense on top of nonsense. I'm just looking my notes, and this is just some last minute mention. In season 3, episode 1, there came a certain Count Dragon. What happened with him? I mean, wasn't he supposed to be the new main villain? But I guess he just got blown up and they stick with Lord Zed and Rita. I genuinely have no idea. And the whole lore is convoluted because Zordon is making a new ranger suit thing, the White Ranger, but turns out he cannot do that. Only Ninjor can do this. What? What are we doing? It absolutely makes zero sense. It's just and you can see sometimes in the middle of the episode they are just winging it. They don't even write a full episode. They rewrite the episode in the middle of the episode. They were that cheapscake. And you want today's audience to pay attention while the Netflix and Amazon spending $300 million or $1 billion one season of 8 episodes, and they release it in 5 years. Each season comes after 5 years of the previous season, which is absolute nonsense. But you try to concord with that. What's the idea? This model won't work. Today it absolutely won't work. There is just no way. Even though the monster designs, the costumes are genuinely interesting and not badly designed. Sure, with some extra money you could make it more interesting, but then they would differ too much from the actual toys. So you have to consider that, but otherwise. But that's the story of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Alien Rangers seasons. I will keep watching it when I find the time. I have to do playtesting for a real game book, so that will take my time, and I will upload the videos I've made before this. But Power Rangers is a wild ride. It's worth looking at it if you care for, filmmaking or that kind of